Everyone apparently in the industry knew that the broadcasters, Harry Carey and Milo Hamilton, had a major beef with each other.
Hit 'em up! Move 'em out!
We want to know what's bothering you in the world of sports. Give Murph a call at 312-644-6767. That's 312-644-6767. And tell him what's beefing you in the world of sports. What's Your Beef is brought to you by Brown's Chicken Sandwiches and Catering.
Oh, yes, indeed. What's your beef? Lunchtime, beefs, Browns. Oh, man, pulling right now. There's a Browns up on the left. How about an Italian beef, an Italian sausage? My favorite, Maxwell Street Polish. Or Dan Richmond, superfan Dan, our super salesman, loves 4 big meatballs, the meatball sandwich, the marinara sauce, the toasted French bun, and bloop, there goes another meatball on superfan Dan's $500 necktie. Let's get to the phone lines. Best Beefs win a trip to the Best Beefs at Brown's. It tastes better. Let's start. Oh, phone number, Murph. Come on. I'm a first-time beefer. What's the number? 312-644-6767.
Well, we don't want anybody to miss out, so go ahead. Give us that number one more time.
Freddie, go home, would you? Gary in Streamwood. Hey, Gary.
Hey, Murph.
What's your beef, man?
My beef's with the National League schedule makers. There's a perfect balance between 8 warm weather teams and 8 cold weather teams in the National League. The first 2 weeks of the season, all of the cold weather teams should be playing in all of the warm weather cities. So what do we get? Milwaukee at the Cubs on March 31st. The entire series will probably be snowed out. That's just ridiculous.
That's excellent. You're exactly right. Go visit my friends at Brown's. It tastes better. Great beef, Gary. Hang on, buddy. Andy Garcia, hook up Gary on line 1 there. We'll just send him on over to Brown's because it tastes better. You know what? Gary's from Streamwood is right. 15, 20 years now. I'm waiting for Bud to figure this out.
Bud Selig declined to talk to us.
I think Bud's got more important things to worry about, right? But is it that difficult? I know all the different reasons. You know what? Every club wants to have a lot of games at home, June, July, August, when kids are out of school. They get their bigger crowds, the biggest crowds that time of the year. But you know what? He's exactly right. You could probably break it exactly nationally. For instance, 16 teams, 8 cold weather, 8 indoors or warm weather. And you know what? As much as you want to open up at home, who doesn't want to open up at home? I mean, a home opener is different from just opening 10 days later, 7 days later. But, would you rather be indoors, Milwaukee, on March 31st than at Wrigley Field? Hey, no one loves a home opener more than I do. I know what you're saying, but it's a good beef by Gary. Mike is a car phone next. One line open, 644-6767. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Murph. Love your show and love Browns.
Oh, man, you're trying to get to Browns through my stomach and my heart at the same time. What's your beef, Mike?
Well, my beef is double standards. A couple weeks ago, or a little while ago, you had the gal that made the remark about Tiger Woods, and everyone got in an uproar about this, and she probably didn't even realize what she said. But yet, on the day of the Super Bowl, before on your radio station, they had an interview with Michael Irvin from the Dallas Cowboys, and he was talking about some of the wide receivers, and one in particular where he stated, I told all the brothers, let him catch the ball, but you got to stop him from running. And he's a whitey, and you should be ashamed, all you brothers letting a whitey do this. But I haven't heard Sharpton come in and say, well, that was wrong in that case. I mean, it's wrong, but it should be wrong for both sides, not just one-sided.
Well, Mike, I appreciate your call. Hopefully the day will come when it is even-handed, and more than that, hopefully the day will come when those statements are never made either erroneously or covertly on purpose. Let's do this. Let's catch up on a few things. Look, the beef lines are humming right now. They're jammed up, but you know what? That doesn't mean you can't run on over to Brown. You don't need to win a free trip from Murph to go to Brown's. It tastes better. Lunchtime, an Italian beef right now, an Italian sausage right now. These are Chicago way, the way Dad and Grandpa used to talk about them in the city. Now, 50 locations throughout greater Chicagoland. Hey, put them together. Call it a combo. Frank Portillo's favorite, president of Brown's. Back in a flash. Round of phone calls number 2 next. Sports Radio 670. It's Murph, the score.
Keep moving, moving, moving.
Donovan, I've got your mom on the line, and she's got a major beef.
Moving.
What's your beef? No, that's what I'm asking you. Let's get back to the beef lines. Delivered to you from my friends at Brown's. It tastes better. You know, those new jumbo buffalo wings. You know how great the chicken is at Brown's. You know about the great lunchtime, the sandwiches we talk about all the time. How about the new jumbo buffalo wings? Bigger, bigger taste. 5 great flavors. You like buffalo wings? Jumbo buffalo wings are flying off the shelves. Sorry. At Brown's, it tastes better. Pete from Glenwood. Hello, Pete.
Hey, Murph.
What's your beef, buddy?
Hey, first off, I'm a first-time beefer, so I'm a little nervous.
Oh, I love my first-time beefers.
Hey, my beef is with professional basketball players stealing millions of dollars from their employer, and they can't even make a simple layup or even a free throw.
Well, you know what? I don't know if stealing's the right word. Maybe the owners are the ones that are the dummies. Huh? Pete, good to hear from you. You'll be a second-time beefer next week, okay, pal?
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Peter. Let's go to Mike from Schaumburg. Hello, Mike.
Hey, Murph, how you doing?
Good. What's your beef?
I got a major beef with the Cubs organization about even considering putting Dumpster in the starting rotation. It was bad enough last year I had to worry about him at the end of the game. Now I got to worry about him for the whole game. He's garbage.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to disagree with anything you said, Mike. He was, only had 3 blown saves, but he was one of the worst relief pitchers, even though statistically, give me John Dewan, statistically he did a pretty good job. But I'll tell you something else. The Cubs right now have inventory and volume. I appreciate your call there, Mike. I think your phone broke off. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean they're any good, but they do have the 3 starters that we all know. Zambrano, you got Lilly, you got Hill, and then you're going to obviously put John Lieber in the 4-hole. That leaves Dempster. That leaves Sean Marshall. That leaves Jason Marquis, who, love him or not, you're going to pay him for 2 more years, and he had 12 victories. I forgot about him. And you know what? You even got maybe a Gallagher or a Hart. So I would say right now that I wouldn't think that Dempster's penciled in anywhere. I don't think Jason Marquis penciled in anywhere. Maybe with, disappearing ink. Do they still make that? Remember the 10-year-old magicians? I got some disappearing ink. Let's bring up Chris from Arlington Heights. Hello, Chris.
Hey, Murph, here's my beef. My beef's with Bud Selig and Major League Baseball and their reply to John Rocker's allegation that they knew about his use of steroids. And what they did with their initial reply was to point out the fact that he was suspended for making derogatory statements with regard to race and homophobia. But, the difference between the two is that at least he admitted to his crime, admitted to what he did, and served his time. And Bud Selig has basically got in front of Congress and denied that he had any knowledge that this was going on. And as soon as he found out, quote unquote, he began to take steps to do something about it.
Chris,
the reason that his contract was extended by the owners is because it's the old adage: you keep your enemies closer. He's a potential enemy because he knows so much about baseball. And Steinbrenner separating himself from the game and putting his son in charge has a lot to do with what's going on in Washington tomorrow, because those were 2 players that were playing for his New York Yankee team and using these drugs.
Well, you know what? You raise a bunch of great points. And John Rocker, sure, he's a loose cannon. He's a nutball. He has said horrible things. But he's also indicting that the union knew about this. So there goes. So Don Fehr and Bud Selig. See, this is a keg of dynamite. If indeed Rockford is credible and is truthful. And you know what? Who's to say he is? Who's to say he isn't? Not you or me, but we'll all find out. But, Chris, if they can tie the commissioner and the head of the union to knowing about this when they have pretty much played dumb, then that's another powder keg for these guys. And Wednesday, tomorrow, Congress will be covering it here, and the score is going to be, boom, dynamite. Thanks, Chris.
It's only the beginning.
You got it, buddy. I appreciate it.
Bud Selig declined to talk to us.
Boom, there goes the dynamite. Let's go to, is that what that kid said? Do we have that? It used to be somewhere in the vault. Minute Man Mike from Antioch. Hello, Mike.
Hey, Murph, thanks for taking my call.
Hey.
Well, first of all, I got to tell you, thanks for making my 88-year-old mother laugh and smile, because every time you play that Andy McPhail, the clown, she cracks up. She loves your show.
Well, you know what? It drove Andy out of town, but I don't want Ma going anywhere. And what's Ma's first name, if I may ask?
Mary.
Mary, God love you. What's your beef?
My beef is, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, it was Congressman Danny Davis, who was on with Brian Hanley at the end of his show, right before your show, that talked, and Hanley asked him, shouldn't you have better things to do, considering what's going on in the world today, than looking into steroids in professional baseball? And Danny Davis says, well, this is very important, too. Well, Congressman Danny Davis is my beef, because if they paid attention to the border where 70% of the drugs come in and fund the fence and build the double-wide fence, we wouldn't have all these drug problems in our country.
Well, Mikey, you raise a few interesting topics, and one is, do congressmen have better things to do? Well, you know what? I think he did clarify that there are different divisions. There's different committees that do different things.
Correct.
And I didn't like his choice of words, someone else can worry about the soldiers dying. I don't think he really meant it to come out that way. But what he meant to say was this is a subcommittee that looks at injustices or problems is a better word. And they're doing what they're supposed to do. But you raise a bigger picture. If there'd be a way to control the flow of the drugs is what you're actually narrowing into.
That's correct.
I'd be all for that all the way. Mike, good call.
Thank you.
Phone again, buddy. I appreciate it. Say hi to Ma. John is a card phone on the score. Hello, Johnson.
Hey, Murph. How you doing?
Good, John. What's your beef?
Well, I got to sneak in a combo because it technically is a beef, but it's a combo.
Uh-huh.
And Tom Brady and Randy Moss, the two prima donnas, that lost the Super Bowl and came up with these mysterious injuries before the football. Now, if they would have won the Super Bowl, you bet your bottom dollar they would have played in the Pro Bowl to show off, hey, I'm a champion. But now they lost. It's like, oh, well, I got a nagging injury. I can't make it.
John, I could not agree more with you. You know what? Either stop having the All-Star games. Now, baseball has been able to somehow force or coerce, cajole their guys to show up. I'm with you all the way. If the Pro Bowl's not important, then don't hold the damn thing. Hang on. You're going to go visit my friends at Browns, John. Nice job. Hang on. Go visit my friends at Browns. Hey, you're driving around right now hungry as can be. Man, it feels like lunchtime. Well, it is. 12:43. Beefs, Browns, lunchtime at Browns. It tastes better. Me, I love the Maxwell Street Polish. All those great side orders they have. Bring home some chicken tonight for dinner. Honey, you don't have to cook. You don't have to do the dishes. I'm bringing Brown's chicken home for dinner. John's on the south side of Chicago. Hello, John.
Hey, Murph, how are you?
Fine. What's your beef, man?
My beef is for all these baseball experts, including Cubs fans, who think the Cubs need a leadoff hitter. You know what? This is baseball 2008. Back in the 60s and the 70s, when pitching and defense was dominating baseball, you needed Maury Wills and all these people to steal a base and get on and get sort of run, because you saw a lot of 2-1 games, 1-0 games. But here in 2008, in the steroid era, you never see too many 1-0 games, 2-1 games.
I agree with you there.
You need as many hitters as you possibly can get. And stop worrying about a leadoff hitter. You need to get some pitching, because that's what's going to win it for you. And all these Cubs fans are talking about Soriano shouldn't be batting first. As many bats as he should get them. And if you look at all the last champions, how many of those teams had prototypical leadoff hitters?
Well, you know, John, you're a great baseball fan. Maybe on another occasion you and I can talk a little more about Soriano with a leadoff hitter, but I will never argue with you that you never have enough pitching. Hey, John, fun to talk baseball with you. Phone again, okay, buddy?
Alrighty.
I appreciate it. I couldn't disagree more, but that's what's the beauty of the score and talking baseball. Get Soriano out of the top. John says leave him there, worry about the pitching. Fred from Naperville will be our final beefer for Browns today. Hello, Fred.
Hey, how you doing, Murph?
Good, Fred. Give me a good beef.
Well, I apologize that I'm sick, so I apologize for the radio voice here, but this is a big beef, and I am a Sox fan, and we've spoken before, but this beef goes out to all of my fellow Sox fans who continue to not only whine about the Sox inability to win a championship, when I could have sworn 3 years ago that we did, but they're the same ones who revel in the Cubs' futility. I think that we need to make a change here in Chicago. We need to come together and pull for the Cubs. And I know this probably is not popular, but this is ridiculous. We won 3 years ago. Let's pull and let's see what the Cubs can do in 08. Thanks.
Well, Fred, hang on, buddy. And there's an old expression, oh, he hung up feet of cold, starve of fever. I was going to say, you got a cold? You're a winner. Go feed it at Browns. Call back in, Fred from Naperville. When you feel better, get over to Browns. You know what? Browns can do everything for you, probably even cure the common cold. It tastes better.